Welcome to the Daily Fox Fuel, where we train kingdom-minded creatives, leaders, and builders to become highly skilled craftsmen. Each episode is your spark of strategy, scripture, and straight-up truth to help you walk out your calling with excellence. Now let's get to work. Yo, what's up, crew? Hope you are ready for today's Fox Fuel. First, just thanks to everyone who's been listening to these, because it's been pretty cool to see the data and the metrics coming in. Shout out to you. Best thing you could do is share this with somebody. Maybe stop right now, share this episode with a friend, somebody you're thinking of that could maybe use it. Not passive aggressively, of course, because we don't want that. But just send a little shout out, share it. That'd be great. Would love that. Today, we are going to talk about building with the end in mind. And this is something that I love talking about because I think we too often get caught up in the hype of the moment. We get caught up in the hype of what's in front of us, and we forget where our end goal is. Like, what are we aiming for? It's easy to build for scale. Truly, it is. But it's so much harder to build for legacy. It's harder because you have to see the future. You have to see where you're headed so clearly that the decisions today are what impact where you're headed. And you have to be able to decide quickly with that. You have to understand where you're headed and be able to make those decisions with that in mind. So some ways to tangibly work on this is I need you to ask yourself, will this still matter in 5 years? Ask yourself that. Like, is what I'm deciding today, is this going to matter in 5 years? Will it reflect what God asked me to build? Will it stand when the buzz dies? It's a big one. We really got to check our heart and motives in this. Guys, we can't live in this world where we're chasing the high of virality, of the hype, of the buzz, the likes, the engagement. It's just not worth it, guys. We have to keep the end in mind. Stephen Covey wrote, begin with the end in mind. But for kingdom leaders, it's not just the end of the quarter. No, it's the end of the assignment. It's the end of the story. It's what we are headed towards. It's what we're here to do. It's what we've been called to do. 1 Corinthians 3:13, the fire will test the quality of each man's work. It's crazy to think about that. The times of trial will test the quality of our work. So what are you building with? Ask yourself that in this moment. Take a second. Just wherever you're at, ask yourself. Maybe even close your eyes if you can. And just meditate on this. What am I building with? What am I building for? Where am I headed? What is the end in mind? Ask yourself these questions. What am I building with? Vision or ego? Stone or straw? Conviction or comparison? These are hard questions to step into and look in the mirror and ask ourselves, what am I building with? And I think if we all took more moments throughout each week, each day, and asked ourselves these questions, we would be able to realign ourselves with what God is calling us to do. Here's the deal. You don't need to do what's trendy. I promise you that. God made you unique and original. Follow that. Don't follow what's being trendy. Do what's true. Focus on that. Be authentic. Be who God called you to be. Nothing more, nothing less. And build like it'll last. Because the kingdom doesn't need a viral, okay? It needs unshakable. Hey crew, before you jet, make sure you share this episode with a friend and leave us a rating. Thanks for tuning in today. And remember, stay foxy.